Hi guys, how are you?
Hi there, you
Good,
good?
thank you. Yeah.
I first saw this film back at Sundance back in January, and when everybody heard what that I went to Sundance, I said, "Well, the movie I'm raving about is Brian and Charles. I absolutely
Oh,
adore this film."
thank you.
Um, so, guys, as you can tell, I am here with Chris Hayward and David Earl, who play Brian and Charles in the new film about a lonely inventor who creates a robot friend from a washing machine and a mannequin head. And it follows their adventures as they navigate a less than tolerant world. Guys, how are you?
Good.
Yeah,
Tired.
really good.
Yeah.
David, you've been playing a version of Brian in your stand-up, and your eventual producer, Rupert, called into your radio show doing a robot voice. And so Charles kind of grew from there with Chris eventually being added in for live shows. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's right.
Perfect.
Okay. What was it about the initial bit that you thought, okay, this has legs. I want to do more with this?
Well, initially it was just Charles's voice made me laugh.
Yeah.
And then it was me trying to chat with him and asking him questions and having to wait sort of 10 seconds for the answer to come back.
Right.
And I quite like playing that kind of patient friend. Just asking him a question, sitting there and then getting the answer. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. And sort of falling in love, little bromance over Skype. And then when Chris built him, I was like, oh, hello. I quite like the look of him as well. I fell in love with his voice and then fell in love with his body.
It's always often how it works, isn't it?
That was the opposite, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
No, his body was just a cherry on the
Turn the cake.
yeah. So that, yeah.
So has Charles' personality and physicalization always been what we see in the film? I really love his arm movements, and I hope that was there from the beginning.
Oh, the arm movements were there from the beginning.
Okay, good.
Sure. Yeah. His personality, when we did it as a live show, he was much more, bit more boisterous, and we were doing it for an adult audience. So sometimes he'd swear but then he would be quite childlike. We still did things like dancing and like songs and stupid stuff like that, which is his sort of childlike nature. But for the film, it just meant we could plot that over more of a trajectory where he's almost growing up and going through adolescence. And so we used it that way. Yeah. But the arms pretty much have moved the same way.
Yeah, the joke in the live show was that like one of the arms is Chris's arm and it works well, and the other one's just whatever it is. And so the joke was that Brian had taken his time with the right arm, and then by the time he got to the left, he was sort of bored and just sort of left it.
Well, that actually leads to a really good question that I have, which is, Chris, like, what is it like operating Charles on set? You have this costume, and I believe you're also doing the voice. Is that right?
Well, no, the voice is, we pre-record the voice on this computer software, but sometimes I would have to say the lines as me because we couldn't always get the laptop to work, or we would improvise scenes that I would say or Rupert would say. So that's a bit of a mixture, really. But in terms of operating it, yes, I've got my arm through the box, and I've got these straps on that keep the box at a certain level. I've got braces on underneath that are attached to these giant trousers. Right. And I'm holding what is a litter picker that is goes into the head. I've got one of the heads here.
Well, that's awesome.
That's one of the heads. So the litter picker goes in there, and that made his lips move. So I'm basically holding a stick like that and twisting it.
Yeah.
And
it's like I'm revealing Santa Claus.
Are the lips like rubber or malleable in any way, or?
They move a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, okay.
So when I with the litter picker stick, when I sort of operate it, it'll move the.
Yeah. Okay.
that deal. I should have just done that.
That's really, really cool. So this film is obviously being compared to Frankenstein a lot. Was that like a purposeful choice or accidental?
We didn't give it any thought. So when we had some reviews through, like, oh yeah, I mean, it seems ridiculous now. It's because we're dumb, but you know, we put the lightning in there, but we didn't give it any thought. Really, it was. Did we?
No, and also we filmed a scene where, because our idea was the lightning was supposed to be a bit of a red herring, and then it is Mr. Williams the mouse that gets into Charles's head, and we filmed a scene where the mouse comes out of Charles's mouth. But it looked so weird because first of all, the mouse didn't come out properly. It sort of poked its head out and went back in. And then when it did finally come out, it looked grotesque. It looked like I always think of the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where a python comes out of a skull's mouth. Yeah. It looked as horrific as that.
Yeah.
You just thought that's really going to put people off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I guess because we didn't include that, people were like, oh, it's Frankenstein. But yeah, we didn't think of that at the time
at all. But it's funny because a lot of the themes of the film are very similar to the themes of the book of loneliness and creating something and having its own life. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we didn't at all. We sort of spent quite a lot of time going, how has this thing come alive? And oh God. And then in the end we were like, oh, who cares? we
had all sorts of ideas.
We just thought we'd do a scene where Brian doesn't know. He's now blaming the mouse. So yeah, we just thought it'd be a funny scene if you can see that you don't even know either. Just does come alive. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So for my last question, this film is hilarious. What is your favorite bit or line from the film that the other person says or does that you hope to remember for a very long time? So what's David, what's one thing Chris does, and Chris, what's one thing David does?
God. Oh, I really like it when I'm cutting his eyebrows. And Tufty Wufty. Yeah, I really like that scene there, just being, just poking through the door and seeing them, and Charles saying sort of Tufty Wufty and eek and ouchie wouchie. Yeah. Yeah.
When you're cooking when we're cooking the cabbages, I like the line, we're just cooking cabbages and chilling out. I think it's quite a funny to say.
That'll be like on a t-shirt, just cooking cabbages and chilling out.
Do you know what? That comes from a British, we took that from a British documentary from about 1993. It was just these two guys in a tower block, and the camera comes up to them and they go, we're just listening to Dire Straits and chilling out. And, yeah, it's just a funny little scene for these two.
I think when I think about it, some of the lines that David was saying during the cuckoo clock were really funny, and he improvised quite a lot of that. I mean, and I was whenever I was inside Charles and he was making me laugh, I could feel the box shaking because I was laughing. But yeah, there were some brilliant cuckoo clock lines that are great.
Well, guys, thank you so much. The film is absolutely brilliant, and I am so grateful to be talking with you guys today.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.